Tonight on DC News Now, a man accused of shooting and killing his girlfriend.
I can't believe he did this to the mother of his kids.
The victim's mom with a heartbreaking message.
We made it through one round of rain and storms today, but we'll let you know when things could get active again on your Wednesday.
The president again talks about taking over the District of Columbia.
We want a capital that's run flawlessly.
His concerns over crime.
Amazon's annual deals are here. This time, they're lasting longer than ever. We're helping you stretch your dollar with how the looming tariffs could impact sales.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran. Let's take a live look outside right now. The severe weather we saw earlier has moved on out, and we're taking a live look right now. It looks like Reagan National Airport, but things are still really steamy outside.
Certainly are. Meteorologist David Matson, and we were saying earlier, it's kind of like a sauna still out there.
I know. The storms provided some brief relief, if there was a bright side, but yeah, it's going to stay steamy, and that's going to set us up for another round tomorrow, it looks like. So we're going to have to be ready for that, folks. In the meantime, though, yeah, things have dried out across the majority of the DMV. DC very much included there. Nothing popping up on the radar loop close to the city. Now, down across a few of our southern counties, well, we still have some rainfall and thunderstorms working on through. These are not severe warned, but we are seeing some heavier rain still pushing through parts of Fredericksburg, Stafford, and then eventually drifting over into southern Maryland yet again. Parts of Charles, St. Mary's, Calvert counties will see this heavier rain over the next hour, but all watches have been dropped. The flood watch, the severe thunderstorm watch were either allowed to expire or were canceled across the entire area. So good news, we don't have any worry of severe weather, heavy rain the rest of the night. And we'll wake up tomorrow, speaking of, to those very warm and muggy conditions. And as the sun breaks out, as we head toward the mid-morning hours, well, that's going to just heat things up as we move forward. And yes, we are expecting another round of storms and likely some heavier rain more so tomorrow afternoon and evening, which is why this flood watch was already put out for all counties along and east of the I-81 corridor. So we'll have to be ready for that threat of some heavier rainfall. We'll time out when things will turn quite soggy and active once again for you on Wednesday, coming up here in just a bit.
All right, a Maryland mom with a critical message. If a person threats to hurt you, believe them. Her daughter was killed over the weekend.
And police say that her ex-boyfriend is responsible. DC News Now's Tim Reed has more on this mother's warning that she hopes will save a life.
The family of 29-year-old Sharita Criswell is speaking out after police say her boyfriend, 32-year-old Harry Lindsay, shot and killed her during an argument. Criswell's mother and sister want justice for their loved one.
He killed my baby. I can't believe he did this to the mother of his kids.
Jerice McCotter is grieving the loss of her daughter.
You took her life. You get to go to jail and be free. I'll never get her back. Never get her back. Domestic violence is very serious.
Police say she was shot and killed at this Landover apartment complex on Saturday. Harry Lindsay is now facing murder charges. County executive and former state's attorney Aisha Brayboy says Lindsay allegedly tried to strangle Criswell back in June.
That the individual who had abused her, who we believe tried to kill her by strangulation, should be held without bond.
Criswell's family has a message for others who might be the victims of domestic violence.
Domestic violence is serious. It's nothing to play with. Never let anybody, I don't care if it's a man, I don't care if it's a woman, do not let anybody put their hands on you.
Harry Lindsay is being held without bond. In Prince George's County, Tim Reed, DC News Now.
Now to a tragedy in the district. Someone fires a gun in Southeast and a stray bullet ends up killing a toddler in a car.
Yeah, really heartbreaking. We spoke to the family of Honesty Cheadle.
Hurt a baby, 3-year-old. Her name is Honesty Cheadle. She was 3 years old. What could she done to anybody?
That is Raymond Cheadle, Honesty's great uncle. He says Honesty was with her father and had just returned from 4th of July fireworks show when gunshots rang out and she was shot.
The person that did this is a coward to me, and I'm going to do everything in my power to help find him.
Now, police are still investigating. Coming up in our next half hour, we're going to hear from Honesty's family and their message for the shooter. President Trump is again threatening to take over D.C., and this time he mentioned it during a cabinet meeting.
Yeah, D.C. News Now's Daniel Hamburg joining us tonight live in studio. And Daniel, this is not the first time the president has made these threats.
No, that's right, Chris and Susan. He's made comments on Air Force One and in the Oval Office over his disdain for D.C., but today's threat continues to raise concern for people who live in the district.
Since he took office in January, President Trump has taken shots at the way D.C. is run.
We've had a good relationship with the mayor, and we're testing it to see if it works.
During Tuesday's cabinet meeting, President Trump was asked about the New York mayoral race. He spoke unfavorably about Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani and pivoted to the district.
If a communist gets elected to run New York, it can never be the same, but we have tremendous power at the White House to run places when we have to. We could run D.C.
The threat against New York and D.C. makes D.C.'s U.S. Shadow Representative Oye Owalewa push harder for statehood.
Just another Trump threat to our home rule and our self-autonomy. You know, when we fight for D.C. statehood, it's not just about voting rights. It's our ability to essentially have control over our own lives, our budget, the way we're able to vote for our mayor and things like that.
Trump says his chief of staff is working with Mayor Bowser.
We don't want crime in D.C. We want the city to run well. Susie Wiles is working very closely with the mayor, and they're doing all right. I mean, in the sense that we would run it so good, it would be run so proper, we get the best person to run it.
Owalewa says Congress is not interested in governing D.C. and being in charge of things like filling potholes and picking up trash.
Although it's good to have a relationship with the White House and Congress, we have to stand up for our people.
Mayor Bowser's office declined to comment. In the studio, Daniel Hamburg, D.C. News Now.
Daniel, thank you. The Supreme Court clears the way for President Trump to continue the mass firing of federal workers. The lower court had put a freeze on billionaire Elon Musk and his Doge team's initiatives and those initial layoffs. The justices lifting the pause, giving the Trump administration yet another win. But unions, nonprofits, and advocates are warning that the mass firings will remove critical services and hurt families. The Department of Justice is taking back roughly $800 million aimed at reducing violent crimes and to support victims all across the country. 5 organizations suing the DOJ, hoping to keep that grant money. And while a federal judge calls the DOJ's actions shameful, he's still dismissing the case, saying that the organizations failed to show a constitutional violation or protection.
In Northern Virginia, a Prince William County man pleading guilty to a deadly shooting outside of a nightclub. It happened in 2021 in the parking lot of the Babylon Cafe in Woodbridge. Prosecutors say Travion Johnson was seen on camera firing shots outside the hookah lounge. Kaylin Robinson was shot several times in the parking lot. Detectives say they knew each other and Johnson planned to murder Robinson.
A rally in Maryland at Prince George's County Community College urging school leaders for a fair contract. Now, 200 faculty members, they voted to unionize last year, and they have been negotiating for their very first contract ever since. They say while administrators at the community college are set to get a 14% raise, the faculty was given a best and final offer of just 3.5%.
Basically, it's about respect for the profession. These are individuals that came into the teaching profession not to become rich, but because of the passion we have for educating students and making sure that we are educating students in a fashion that they are productive citizens, and we have got to learn to respect the profession and the individuals that have chosen to actually do this work, which is not easy work.
Demonstrators say that educators just cannot live off of the current wages.
We have an update tonight out of Northern Virginia. A very good boy will be back on duty at Dulles Airport tomorrow. This is K9 Freddy. He was attacked last month while working with Customs and Border Patrol. A man kicked Freddy when Customs says he found snake meat in a passenger's luggage. Since then, there's been just an outpouring of support for Freddy on social media. Good to see him back at work tomorrow. Well, coming up here in the news at 9, a Prince George's County cop accused of crashing into a retired D.C. detective, killing him. What investigators say may have played a factor in that deadly collision.
We're helping you stretch your dollar with a look at the potential impact of President Trump's tariffs on Prime Day deals.
And ahead at 9:30, barely escaping. Texans sharing their harrowing stories of how they narrowly survived the catastrophic floods.
Yeah. Okay, ready? Y'all rolling? Okay. I'm gonna say something along the lines of, okay. President Trump once again threatening to take over D.C., how locals are responding to President Trump once again threatening to take over D.C. in his cabinet meeting today, how locals are responding to what he's saying.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. DC News Now continues.
Welcome back to DC News Now. We're taking a live look outside right now, and it is a clear night. The storms have moved on through, but still quite hot and humid out there. Meteorologist Damon Matson has your full forecast in just a couple of minutes. A retired D.C. detective is killed in a car crash. It happened just a couple of miles from his Maryland home. The driver of the other car is a current officer.
Yeah, and police say alcohol may have played a role, and that officer is now on desk duty. DC News Now's Max Marcilla has more on the tragic events.
A day after a crash that took the life of a retired MPD detective, the signs are still there. 56-year-old Carlton Herndon retired from the force a few years back. This photo from 2010, when then investigator Herndon was commended for recovering a knife used in a stabbing. Herndon was here trying to cross Route 301 when his car was hit by Anthony Coleman's Ford F-250. Now, the investigation is still ongoing. You can see it's been less than a day since the crash and debris is still here. But so far, state police say Coleman was speeding, and they also believe alcohol was a factor. 34-year-old Coleman has not been charged. He's a Prince George's County officer who was off duty and in his personal car Monday night. In a statement, PGPD says he was placed in an administrative duty status with pay pending the outcome of the investigation. Herndon's family did not want to speak. The heartbreak is still fresh. The signs of the investigation are too. And as we were filming the site of the crash, a driver rolled down their windows and asked if the traffic light is coming. He says crashes here happen way too often, the latest one taking a life. Reporting in Brandywine, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
State police in Virginia are still looking for the suspect in a road rage shooting. This happened in Fairfax County back on June 11th. Investigators say that a driver in a Suburban may have cut off a man in a BMW on 395 South. The two cars continued driving until they pulled off onto the shoulder where 395 meets 495 and Route 644. Now, investigators say there was a confrontation, and the man in the BMW shot the victim in the Suburban, hitting the person in the arm and leg. The BMW was last seen getting off of 495 5 on Van Duren Street. If you have any information, police want to hear from you.
Meanwhile, on 295, a messy cleanup overnight in the district. More than 100 gallons of fuel spilling when a tractor trailer crashes. It happened on Benning Road Northeast. You can see it here. DC Fire saying 2 people were in the truck when it overturned, but they were able to get out safely. Hazmat crews cleaned up the spill. All lanes reopened a few hours later, but debris was sent flying onto the CSX railroad tracks. All freight trains were stopped briefly.
We're following breaking news in New Mexico, where flash flooding has really just swept across the town of Ruidoso, which is south of Albuquerque. You can see this is a video that just came into our newsroom, and this is a river that has overflowed and is just raging, sending water and debris gushing through a neighborhood. Officials say that the heavy rain is overwhelming the area that's still not fully recovered from last year's wildfires there. The National Weather Service saying that there have been several rescues. Now, flooding from the remnants of tropical storm Chantal may have killed 3 people in North Carolina. It came on to land in South Carolina on Sunday. It was downgraded, then continued to move north. The governor saying the storm destroyed homes and businesses. It was just last year, you might remember, that Hurricane Helene caused catastrophic flooding all across the western part of North Carolina.
Yeah, that's a part of North Carolina definitely not needing any more rain or floodwaters at this point, certainly. Meteorologist Damon Matson here, and closer to home, the storms that moved through today, they're starting to move out. Finally, we're starting to dry out a bit.
Yeah, we're thankful that we didn't see any major impacts here today. Yes, we did have a couple of severe storms and some heavier rainfall, no doubt, but nothing to the extent of what we are seeing there across parts of the country. But all the more reason, a reminder, anytime we have any sort of flood risk, always got to be ready for that to have its due. Now, as we look across the radar loop here, folks, still, we do have some heavier rainfall across the southern extent of the DMV. That heavy rain is right along the tidal Potomac from Prince William to Stafford counties, right around the Fredericksburg area, crossing over to Charles, St. Mary's, and Calvert counties. Some heavy rain will continue over the next hour in southern Maryland, but there is not any sort of severe or flood warning with this batch of thunderstorms. So that's the good news. Again, the flood threat from today is over with. And those storms, they did make a difference, dropping our temperatures. We were in the mid-90s this afternoon. Once the rainfall moved in, temperatures dropped a solid 20 degrees, and that's where we still are at this hour. Middle to upper 70s, a couple locations like Hagerstown in the lower 80s. But it doesn't feel that much better, unfortunately, because, yes, we lowered the temps, but there is still a lot of moisture in the air. Dew points are still extremely high. This is some of that tropical moisture left over from Chantal that passed by parts of the DMV. And with plenty of humidity and moisture and still plenty of warmth nearby, this front that is not going anywhere tonight heading into the day on Wednesday will be the trigger for more rainfall and storms tomorrow. Now, there is a severe threat in play in parts of the DMV. Here in the yellow, a level 2 risk for a few strong to severe storms with gusty winds is on the table. But the higher threat tomorrow, hey, we've been talking about it here, folks. It's heavy rain that could lead to flooding. Also a level 2 risk out of 4 for that threat of flooding rainfall across much of the DMV. Also in this yellow color. And the reason for that, we got some heavy rainfall today, and the activity tomorrow is expected to be even more slow moving. And if that heavy rain sits over some of the same locations, well, there you go. We could end up seeing some flooding concerns. Now, all is quiet outside of southern Maryland as we head over the next couple of hours, and it will stay quiet straight into Wednesday morning. But as we heat things back up to around 90 degrees, we have all that humidity in place. It won't take long. Just like today, things will start firing up shortly after lunchtime, 1, 2 o'clock, and there you go. We see that activity with heavier rainfall, a few storms in the reds and yellows here moving across the DMV, mainly south of D.C. and Virginia and Maryland is where most of the activity will be at, but everybody's fair game for seeing some wet weather and perhaps even some of that heavier rain that could drop 1 to 2 inches in a very short amount of time. So we'll be watching for that as we roll throughout the day on Wednesday. And then, yes, we still have to be alert for possibly some more heavy rain as showers and storms, they're in the mix straight through the upcoming weekend.
We are helping you stretch your dollar with a look at the potential impact of President Trump's tariffs on Prime Day deals.
So they start early this morning, and they're going to continue on until early Friday. Reporter Rich DeMiro explains how to make the most of this year's savings.
It's Amazon's biggest Prime Day yet, at least in terms of how long you have to shop. 4 days of deals running July 8th through 11th.
For many years, retailers were trying to make something out of July because it's slow.
Trey Bodge is a shopping expert who posts tips at TrueTrey.com.
What Amazon Prime did is kind of solidify July as a shopping holiday, and then everyone else piled on top with their own sales.
This year, Amazon is testing a new kind of offer called Today's Big Deals.
It's a lightning deal, but bigger. So it's like the sale doesn't come and go in a couple hours. It lasts a little bit longer.
Amazon promises millions of deals across 35 categories just for Prime members, with new offers dropping every 5 minutes. You can also save $30 on a One Medical membership and get $20 off a $75 purchase at Amazon Fresh or Whole Foods. My perennial tip? Add the items you want to your cart or save for later list. This way you can spot the red Prime discount labels right away if prices drop. But don't stop there. On Amazon's mobile app, tap Price History near the price. On a desktop, ask Amazon's AI assistant called Rufus for price history. Both options show up to a 90-day chart, so you know if it's really a deal. CamelCamelCamel.com is another great way to fact-check pricing. And you can use Google Shopping to compare prices across other retailers. Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Kohl's, and even Dollar General are running competing sales.
Just remember, because there are so many other deals out there, don't stick just to Amazon. It's a buyer's market. You have opportunities to save everywhere.
A browser extension can also help. ShopBack gives you $1 cash back on Amazon orders. And sites like slickdeals.net and Deal News round up the best offers from across the web. Remember, to get Prime Day deals, you need a Prime membership. If you don't have one, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial.
Every consumer, you should ask yourself every year as you come up for renewal, am I using this as frequently as I need to?
All right, Rich DeMuro, some great tips there. Meanwhile, you can stretch your dollar even more at the movie theater and maybe cool off as well. AMC cutting ticket prices for its Stub program, so members can now get half-off tickets every Wednesday. For those part of the Insider program, you'll also qualify for that discount, so that offer starts tomorrow.
Let's talk about the convenience store Sheetz. It is celebrating National Fry Day with a free bag of fries. It's one per customer. You have to order through the Sheetz app, and the offer starts Friday, July 11th. It goes through Sunday.
All right, meanwhile, in Prince George's County, Maryland, a major project underway here at Buddy Attic Park Pavilion in Greenbelt. 2 pavilions are being built over the next 4 weeks, and they include a 25-person shelter right next to the playground and a 50-person pavilion. That'll be at the top of the hill. Now, anyone living in Greenbelt will be able to eventually rent them.